Hello, I'm going to read you a story that comes from Nigeria. It's a Nigerian story called The Palm Tree. We need to know what a palm tree is, don't we? I hope you know what a palm tree is. This is about a date palm tree that grow in those very hot climates, the desert areas around Nigeria. It's a very prized tree for the shade that it provides, but also from the dates, the sweet dates that come from the tree. Okay. There was once a magician named Yubachi Baba who lived in a village in southern Nigeria. His hut was on the outskirts of the village, away from the other compounds. There he lived with his son Ojo and two pets, a tortoise and a monkey. Ojo was young but clever. He helped his father to prepare packets of magic substances and to chant spells to drive evil spirits away. The tortoise was old, even older than Yubachi Baba. He was like an elder in the family. The monkey, on the other hand, was young and sprightly and knew how to climb trees. He was trained to bring down special medicinal leaves that could be used to help blind people to see again. Now Yubachi Baba was no ordinary magician. He had such a fine reputation that people came from far-off villages to seek his help. People would bring their sick children. Some people would go with their problems. A man would go if he couldn't find a wife, or if they wanted to break a long spell of bad luck. They would visit the old magician. As was the custom, people would come laden with gifts of food, maize and beans and guavas and papayas. Women brought spicy stews. Ojo's favourite was gari, which is made by pounding the roots of the cassava plant. And sometimes when the chiefs came, they brought even more expensive gifts. Fine leopard skins and beautifully embroidered robes hung on the walls of their hut, bearing testimony to Yubachi Baba's skills as a magician and a master healer. The food and the gifts were so plentiful that Yubachi Baba never had to go to the local marketplace, and Ojo didn't even know it existed. One day, during the rainy season, Yubachi Baba fell ill. It was a strange fever that lasted 7 days and 7 nights. He gave himself medicine after medicine, but he could not heal himself. Ojo was beside himself with worry. He could not help his father, and at the end of the week, Yubachi Baba died. Ojo was heartbroken, and so were his father's 2 faithful pets. The villagers came in crowds to mourn Yubachi Baba's death and brought food for Ojo. But after 3 days, they suddenly stopped coming. It wasn't as if they didn't care anymore. They simply had other things to do, to get on with their lives. And soon the food was gone. The tortoise and the monkey looked desperately at Ojo, with hungers rumbling in their bellies. Ojo knew that he had to do something. First, he decided to send the monkey to steal some food from the village. The villagers got very excited when they saw the monkey, and they soon spotted him and chased him away. Ojo knew it was now up to him and the tortoise to find food. Together they hatched a plan after plan to steal food, but nothing seemed to work. At times they found themselves having to run for their lives, and when they actually did manage to steal a little food, the 3 of them would have to share it, which still left them very, very hungry. After a while they took to wandering about during the day. They roamed through the flatlands and the forests, eating nuts and roots and berries, until one morning they came to the crossing of 2 roads. Although it was still early, the roads were both very busy, with people approaching from all directions. Everybody was laden with wares to sell, and when they reached the palm grove that stood near the crossroads, they all set out their produce. Long before the market was teeming with life. Ojo, who had never seen a marketplace before, nearly fainted with surprise. Wherever he looked, there was food. In the market stalls there were baskets heaped with rice and millet and maize and beans. On the ground, cloths overflowed with produce of all kinds. Little boys and girls threaded their way through the crowds, hawking head trays of bean cakes and peanuts and small crunchy fried fish. Women with their babies sleeping on their backs sat gossiping around their calabash of sour milk. Ojo was amazed to see so many people, so much food in one place. When everyone had gone home, he and his pets scrounged whatever scraps they could from the empty marketplace. That night, Ojo could not sleep. He knew there was no way he was going to let himself starve when there was so much food in the world. The next day he decided to find out more about the marketplace. During his days wandering, he came upon a villager who explained that market days were staggered so that people from other villages could travel back with their goods. On the very next market day, Ojo, the tortoise and the monkey walked to the palm grove near the marketplace. Ojo checked several palm trees before choosing the one that seemed to have the most leaves. Then up they climbed. First the monkey, with the tortoise clinging to its belly, went up the tree. Next Ojo held on to a slender trunk and, like the monkey, climbed up too. Hidden in the crown of long feather-like leaves, they watched from a safe distance. They marvelled at the men dressed in colourful clothes and the women with beautiful turbans, their bodies glinting with ornaments, trekking to the market with their goods. By mid-morning the marketplace was busy and the drummers beat their drums to announce the arrival of meat from the slaughterhouse. Ojo knew it was time to put his plan into action. He wasn't sure if it would work, for he had never tried magic of this magnitude before, and never before on a tree. Still, he closed his eyes, thought of his father, and chanted quietly. Palm tree, shake your roots free, walk to the marketplace, 1, 2, 3. At the count of 3, the tree jiggled its roots about. The palm grove moved and began walking towards the marketplace. The magic had worked. Ojo could hardly wait to sink his teeth into the sweet flesh of guavas. As the tree wobbled from side to side, Ojo and his pets held on tight to avoid falling. The women selling sour milk were the first to see the tree. They screamed, alarming the people around them, who dropped their trays, knocked over their stalls, spilled food from their baskets, and ran to the safety of their homes. Soon the palm grove was once more deserted. Ojo and his pets climbed down and ate until their bellies ached. They also stuffed food into their bag, for they knew they would not have another market day for 4 days. When they had finished, they climbed back the same way, and Ojo closed his eyes, thought of his father, and chanted, palm tree, now you are free. Walk back to the grove, 1, 2, 3. And at the count of 3, the tree wobbled back to its spot. Meanwhile, the frightened villagers went to the chief and told him the very strange story. Our market has been robbed by a dancing tree, they wailed. Have you lost your brains? Asked the chief. He, of course, didn't believe the story, and this made the villagers very angry. Seeing how angry they were, he promptly promised to send his advisers to investigate. 4 days later, the same thing happened. This time the drummers saw the tree first. They drummed vigorously to alert the people, then fled, with the villagers running behind them. Again the people dropped their trays, they spilled their food and knocked down their stalls before escaping to the safety of their homes. The chief's advisers ran the hardest, tripping on their robes as they ran. It's true, they gasped. Have you gone crazy? Mocked the chief. He had heard many strange things in his life, but he had never heard of a dancing tree, and he still thought it was a ridiculous tale. But seeing how upset the people were, he promptly promised to come in person to to see for himself. On the day of the next market, the chief arrived with great pomp and show. His flowing embroidered robe and red hat distinguished him from the people with whom he mingled. By mid-morning the marketplace was full of people. The business was good. This time the chief was the first to see the palm tree dancing towards the stalls. He was also the first to run away screaming, followed by his advisers and then the panic-stricken villagers. As soon as the chief arrived back at the village, he rushed to summon all the elders together, the wise men and even a magician from a neighbouring village, to a meeting. At the meeting, which lasted 2 days, they pondered over the problem, and the chief promised a bag of gold to anyone who would come up with a solution. The magician, who was well known for his skills, offered to give it a try. On the day of the next market, the people began to converge and set up as usual. By mid-morning, the place was busy. The palm tree came dancing in again, and this time everyone waited for it. They all fled, as was their plan, and the magician remained hidden behind a vegetable stall. What he saw truly amazed him. A boy, a tortoise, and a monkey emerged from the tree. He couldn't believe what he'd seen. He couldn't believe that these three had caused such havoc. Well, it was time to teach them a lesson. While the culprits were busy stuffing food down their throats, the magician crept up and caught the boy by his neck and the monkey by his tail, and then he put his foot firmly on top of the tortoise. He held on to them like that until the angry villagers returned with the chief. The villagers kept shouting at the boy and his pets. They wanted the monkey and the tortoise to be killed right away, and Ojo to be given a good thrashing. The chief signalled to them to be quiet so he could investigate for himself. "Who are you?" demanded the chief. "I am Ojo, Yubachi Baba's son," said Ojo, trembling with fear. "Ah, the famous Yubachi Baba," the chief thought. "If at 10 years of age this boy could make a tree dance, surely he has the potential to become a great magician himself one day." Handing the bag of gold to the magician, the chief deliberated over the matter no more. "The tortoise and the monkey will get a good thrashing, and Ojo will be raised as my son," announced the chief. Ojo hugged the tortoise and the monkey and began to cry, "Beat me if you have to, but please don't hurt my pets. It was all my fault. I told them to steal the food because they were hungry," he cried between sobs. The villagers looked at each other and felt sorry for Ojo and his pets. They told the chief to forget the punishment. They were happy to have their marketplace back and considered themselves lucky that it wasn't the work of the evil spirits. Ojo was delighted with the verdict. It also meant he would never have to go hungry again. Ojo grew up to be a great magician, like his father. The tortoise and the monkey remained his companions for many years. The palm tree, which was never sent back, took root in the marketplace, and that's where it stands even today. People of that village believe the spirit of the marketplace lives in it, and often leave little offerings at the foot of the dancing palm tree. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed that. I'll see you again soon.